Today we are going to talk on Samadhi. Samadhi is the ultimate goal of life. If someone reaches to the stage of Samadhi, actually from there only the spiritual journey starts. Before reaching to Samadhi is only our efforts, the efforts towards the God realization. When we reach to the stage of Samadhi, then the real infinite journey starts. Samadhi is the God's grace, the blessings. Samadhi one cannot get just by his efforts. Efforts are must, but without the blessings of God, without the blessings of Almighty, it comes as a prasad rupa. Samadhi is basically is our love towards God. If we have the love as a child loves the mother will be all 24 hours with the child. If we love the God from the depth of our heart, we can love the God by our tears, by our emotions, before by our all karmas as the divine karmas, and only by His grace the blessing of the God can come. There are different ways and means to come to the stage of samadhi, but the most easiest and the best way is devotion towards the God. If we have ultimate devotion towards God that we cannot live without, then without our efforts, we are with Him. We are in samadhi. We cannot think anything else about Him. But to come to that stage, either it should be the blessings of God or our efforts towards it. And efforts are only possible if the God wants it. If He doesn't want, we cannot put up our efforts towards that. Samadhi, we can by japa, by kriya yoga, and by so many means. The purpose is we have to be merged with Him. If we are merged, then we are in the stage of samadhi. Basically, it starts from shwaram, listening, proper listening. Shwaram, then it comes in manan. Without mind, in a thoughtless stage, we should be with Him. Nishadman. Then comes the stage when we cannot think anything else except that of the God. After the Dhyasan only, when we can put up our efforts towards mergence with Him. Before it comes to the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, it comes the Savikalpa Samadhi. Savikalpa Samadhi is as if we are going in the sea and coming out of it, going in and coming out. We can just have a taste of it. When we come to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, then we are totally merged in that. After Nidhasan, depth of our devotion, that we don't want anything else except the God. When we reach to the stage of Samadhi, our mind remains outside. Only our consciousness reaches with the divine consciousness. Mind is as if on the standing on the doorstep. What happens merging with the human consciousness and the cosmic consciousness? Mind cannot visualize it because mind is at a very distant place. We cannot experience it. That's the reason Those people who come to the stage of samadhi, they cannot describe what happened in that stage. How the darkness and the light merged together. How the water has become the milk itself. Because mind only can record the things. When mind is not there, nothing can be recorded. When person comes out of the stage of samadhi, he is altogether different person because he has tasted the nectar of the divinity, but he cannot describe it. Since the mind is very far away from the stage of samadhi, he has the glimpses of it. Glimpses can also only be put in the nirvana state. We can remember slightly what happened. And he is trying to put those things in practice. And when he comes to the manan stage, back from the samadhi, then he manifested his experience. Of course, a very little experience is the mind can give him. And finally, after samadhi, then he comes to the first stage of shravana, where he started it. Now, after coming back to the samadhi, he is not a person of shravana. He is a person of speaking. He becomes the advisor to the others. He becomes a stage of master, guru. Because what he got from there, most of the people cannot describe because they cannot remember it. Those who are very, very alert, their mind is very strong. They only have the glimpses of it. All our granthas, shastras, were written by the experience of samadhi, and those who could remember it, those who could little bit remember it, they become the preachers. They can communicate to the world. All our renowned writers or poets, say for example Rabindranath, Gitanjali, he has written not of by its own, but he has written as if something from the cosmos has appeared on him. From the universe, somebody wants to speak to him, and that he has written. These are all divine words. Same thing, Muhammad. He has not written the Quran. He was totally uneducated person. Quran has appeared on him. And when the Quran has appeared, he was surprised who is able to talk such things which he never talked earlier. It means the divinity has trying through him to speak to the existence. So, what I mean to say, when a person reaches to the stage of samadhi, the divine power tries to communicate with it some way or the other. What is in your total background it is. We cannot measure the depth of samadhi. Ramakrishna used to say always one story which is very common. The two educated person wanted to know the depth of the ocean. They discussed and discussed, but they can never feel the depth of the ocean. Then one uneducated person told him, "You are always discussing and talking. Why don't you jump in this ocean and find the depth of it?" So one fine morning they jumped in and they say they will come back. They went into the depth of ocean and ocean depth of great depth, but they could not come back because 17 to 18% of the human body is salt water. The salt gold merged with the salt of the ocean water. They merged with it, but they never came back. So what I mean to say, when you are in a stage of samadhi, you are entering to it. At a certain stage, it is so much fascinating that you don't want to come back. It is so appealing. That is the reason Yukteswarananda always tells to Yogananda, when you are living in this world, at certain stage itself, you must come out. Otherwise, that nectar is so pleasing that you will never be like to come out from it. Because this depth is so high, you just merge with this cosmic ocean. So you should go to the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, very cautious, because the stage comes when you become conscious less. Then you enjoy the full Samadhi. When you're seeing some movie, you forget yourself, you're merged in the movie itself. Same thing, Samadhi is as if you're merged and you don't like to come out from here. But when you get merged in it, then you're altogether a different world and you have no control on yourself. So when you're following the path of Samadhi, enjoy the nectar, come out. That is the only nectar you want to taste and nothing else. Then you can totally merge and you can, by your own sweet will, can become the part of the cosmos. But that is only possible when the Almighty force require it. After a certain stage, your breath will start disturbing you and you will be trying to come out from the stage of Samadhi. Samadhi is a very, very unique experience. Once you taste the stage of Samadhi, you would like to repeat every day. It is so wonderful experience. And you know, in only Samadhi, all your good and bad karmas get dissolved. But you will be surprised to know how our good and bad karmas get dissolved in Samadhi. The science behind is very clear because your mind is not there in Samadhi. All karmas are by the mind and the body. When mind and body is not there, then all the karmas get dissolved by itself. Because soul, the consciousness, doesn't do any karmas. But in the background, consciousness is always present. Without the consciousness, karmas are not possible. Consciousness acts like a catalyst, and it's a catalyst of such a order that without that, it's not possible for any reaction to take place, for any activity to start. The consciousness is always present, but it doesn't participate in that. As you know, when you mix hydrogen and oxygen, water will not be formed unless the spark of the current is there. Like spark of the current is there, then hydrogen and oxygen mixed and water is formed. But when you heat the water, you may get hydrogen and oxygen, but there will not be a spark effect because the consciousness acted only to initiate the action. It was not the part of the water. The same way, when we are in the samadhi stage, all our karmas, whether right or wrong karmas, all get dissolved and the pure Chetana remains. Because Chetana has not done any karmas, he was only present. In the life itself, whatsoever you do, every action will have a equal and opposite reaction. You cannot be do only a karma. It is not possible. Only when you come to the stage of samadhi, then all your karmas become a karma. All their positive or negative effects will be over. You will become pure like God. So samadhi has such a situation that it makes you total desireless, total choiceless, pure like gold, so that you can merge with the gold and merge with the God as God is. Because you are the part of the God. That's the reason you can merge with the God itself. And what you desire in that stage, that happens. I remember a very small story in this respect. They were two close friends. One was scientist and another was philosopher. Scientists never believe in God, but his friend philosopher, he was a scientist also and the total believer in God to the highest extent. But whenever those friends meet, they talk. But the scientist written on the walls of his room that God is nowhere. Four walls is written, God is nowhere, God is nowhere. So this fellow says, thinking the how he should get convinced. Once after a deep samadhi, when he went to his house and he saw the drop of water layer is coming from the four walls, God is after no, the water is falling as if the God is now here. God is nowhere he has put me. So after no his W is coming, the water has fallen from the four walls after W. And the scientists will see how it is now it is water is falling after W, as if now the sentence has become God is now here. He went outside, seemed to given to the roof. He said there is only slight drizzling. How the water has come. Then his philosopher told, even now you don't believe that God is now here. God is the extreme power. And from that day onwards, with the small miracle, you can visualize the power of God. So that is the effect of samadhi. One can project in such a way as if what he desired, the divine projects before others in such a way that the other fellow thinks and admit what the divine person is thinking. There is no explanation for such things, but they are the realities of life. So samadhi has such a effect that it cannot be described. The moment you have a nectar of samadhi, even once, I can 101% sure that you will like to go to the stage of samadhi every day, and you will be pure like God, as, a, as if you are the God itself. That is the beauty of samadhi. We can discuss the samadhi to such an extent that the whole day we are going talking, but its divinity, its beauties, its miracles will not be over. All around what we see is the effect of God, is the effect of samadhi. Unless you are not in samadhi, you will always be disturbed, some way or the other. When you are in samadhi, then you are one with all. For you, everything is one. You will think what's so happening with you and with others. It's only a divine miracle. It's only divinity which is playing role. Whatsoever I tell you will not feel like believing unless you taste yourself. The moment you taste, then everywhere you will find God. Except God, there is nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. You can visualize from your life itself whatsoever happened with you so far. You may be of any age group. To see you have not done anything. It is the God who has planned everything for you. He has given in the form of the thought that you must do that. But you visualize from where the thought has come. It is the God has given that thought to you. These things you will perceive when you are in the stage of samadhi. And when you come out from there, and when you are able to tell before the world, and the representative of God, because you have seen it totally, you become the prophet. Who's prophet? Who's the representative of God? Otherwise, it will be just a hollow talk. So, Samadhi is a real miracle. So much miracle it cannot be described. So please explain it. I will continue further. There are different various means to come to that stage of Samadhi. Patanjali has very clearly put Yama, Niyama, Asanam, then Pratyahara, then Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Here, Dharana is Dharana. When you come to the different stages of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, then Dharana is very important. In Dharana, when you have absolutely no mind, your breath is totally suspended after Pratyahara, then you come to the stage of beyond time and space. It's a very clear cut story about it. It makes you very clear. During the time of Stalin, there is a one gentleman who was traveling in the train. He didn't have the ticket with him. He was hiding under the seat. And when the ticket collector came, he asked him the ticket. That fellow had no ticket with him. He just found a small piece of paper and with his dharana is given to the TT and said, "This is the ticket." When TT, ticket collector, seen that paper, he said, "Well, you have the ticket, why you are hiding?" And ticket collector left. And that fellow told, "I don't have ticket, I've just given him paper." He never knew that he has such a capability of dharana with him that he went to beyond time and space. It means he went to the stage of samadhi without reaching to the meditation stage itself, dhyana stage itself. And then later on, when Stalin came to know about this fellow, he told him he cannot believe that how a person can have such a miracle. He told, "You go to the bank and draw 1 lakh rubles from the bank, then I will admit that you have some power." With all control system, he went to the counter, given a blank paper to the cashier. Cashier saw it, everything, and total after verification, he gave him 1 lakh of rubles. He came out, he came to the Stalin. Stalin was surprised because he didn't have a checkbook, no nothing, he had anything. Then he finally went to the cashier and told him, "You please take this money and give my check returned to me." And when he found there was no check, and only the piece of paper was there. And he was so disturbed that he collapsed there inside. Then that fellow understood that he has some miraculous power. And Stalin further wanted to examine him. He said to you, "Come to my room, night 9 o'clock. I'm not giving any permission. With security you can come." He said, "Okay." And 9 o'clock he entered his room. He was surprised how he could enter because in his palace there were so many rooms were there. He was in one of the rooms and without his permission and with so much security. And he said, "How you entered?" He said, "Nothing. I just told to your security guard that such and such your journal had told me that I could meet him, meet you. He saluted me and allowed me to enter." And he surprised that he really, the miraculous power is always available in the world. And he has given him a lot of respect, and he used him in various ways, basically, of course, to extend his empire and so many things. So, what I mean to say, when you go beyond time and space, that is a stage of samadhi. Of course, in this case, it was a different profile itself. But had this man gone for the God, surely he would have become the prophet. So, what I wanted to say is samadhi, even before samadhi, even dharana itself gives you so much of power that you can be do miracles in form. Not only this, by the devotional songs, devotional kirtan, bhakti, you can merge with the God. I remember the story of Guru Nanak. He was working in one shop and he was weighing the grains and distributing the people, taking the money of the. One fine morning, one customer wanted a lot of grains, so he was over measuring one, two, three, four like that. He measured up to 30. 13 mean in Hindi is tera, in Punjabi is tera. Tera means yours. And after tera, he could not go beyond. He was telling tera, tera, and on measuring, giving quintal of grains he has given. And people were surprised. He's not going before tera. And he's on giving. Then the owner came and said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Everything is of God. I don't know how to go beyond that." What I mean to say, in a stage of samadhi, when one reaches, he finds everything is of God, everything is divinity, and nothing before. He finds the God is everywhere, whether it's grace, whether you and me and everything. We cannot think beyond the God. So when you come back from the stage of samadhi, you will not like anything, not to talk except for you will feel God in everywhere because the God has created you. We are part and parcel of that. But that stage is only possible when you develop the vairagya, passion for the world. When you are fully satisfied like Tha, vairagya is come. First thing is the rag, your attachment. Then the vairagya comes. When person transcends both the rag and vairagya, then it becomes Vitrag. Vitrag is beyond time and space. So for him, everything becomes one and the same, as if everything is divinity. So that is a miracle of samadhi. Unless you come to that stage, Rag, Virag, in Vitrag, then only samadhi comes. And then you are with the complete wisdom of divinity. Wisdom comes when you stage of Vitarag comes. Then only the wisdom comes. When wisdom comes, then you will find everything is mysterious. You see the world in mystery. You will find everything is mysterious. Even the leaves of the tree is a mysterious itself. Coming from where? Coming from the mud itself. The leaves are formed, fruits are formed. From where it comes? It comes from the soil. How from the soil so many fruits are coming, and we are only eating it. Is it not a miracle? It's not a stage of samadhi. When the seed goes from the stage of samadhi, then it only its sprout, it grows. Its wisdom comes and it becomes the fruit itself. So there is no end of samadhi. We talk only who am I. When you come in the stage of samadhi, I get merged, and what remains? only he remains. You are no more. You won't find any difference between I and he. Only he is there everywhere. He is the miracle. So when you are touching the stage of samadhi, then you are not the observer. You feel that something inside you is observing it. What is inside that? That is your consciousness. That is the world. So you can come to the stage of realizing the consciousness when you are away from your breathing, when your breath is completely suspended. After breath is the world, breath is the Maya. When you work physically, your breath rates become very high. When you are becoming breath zero, not by force, by automatically itself, then only the consciousness appears, then only the divinity appears. Then you can, when the divinity appears, you can feel the appearance of divinity when in your body there is no requirement. Because consciousness takes care of first of your body, your vichar, your thoughts. When nothing is there for him to consciousness to do, then only the consciousness gets expanded and merges with the cosmic consciousness. So to come to that stage, either you have to do japa or the kriya yoga or techniques of home or the dance like Mira or dance like dervishes. As Sufi they dance it, they merge with the dance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had read all the books of Vedas, Shastras. He could not realize God. But the moment he started dancing in the devotion of God, then he came to the center of divinity. And then he became God-like and he realizes God. So then his mind got totally annihilated, mind got disappeared, and then consciousness appeared. So what I mean to say is, whatsoever technique suits your temperament, you can use it. Gautam Buddha has very clearly put it, Apo Tipo Bhava, you become your own light. So there are 100,000 of ways for realization. Basic thing is your love for God, your bhakti, your devotion. You must see what suits you. Finally, dhyana also leads to the bhakti only. But if you are born with bhakti, then you are already very near to the God. Otherwise, dhyana finally brings your system, your mind, your thoughts, and the devotions get sprouted in you. So whatsoever way suits your temperament, use it. And when you come to the stage of samadhi, that is the prasad or gift or blessing of the God. It is not on your hands. But your efforts will never go to waste. That much I can assure you. But when that cannot be told, the moment you get that, then the real journey of the divinity starts. For you, when you merge in the cosmic consciousness, you become the part of the existence. And that is an infinite journey. There's no end of this journey. So samadhi is the first stage of the divinity to start with. We worldly people think the samadhi is the last. But in spiritual science, samadhi is the first divinity. And samadhi is basically so much luxury. You have all the luxuries of the world and the luxury of the divinity. Is there anything more luxurious than that? So you can put your maximum efforts, and when you get to Vairagya, dissipations, or your love and devotion towards God. It is not that you can create yourself. It happens when you want it. It should be there provided you are all satisfied with all the worldly gadgets and all the comforts of life. And then you can follow this path and you will find this is a miraculous path. It's handed to you and you would like to repeat and to talk about Samadhi. How much I talk, it's less and less. When you feel it, then you can appreciate my words. Otherwise, it will just pass from your head. I tell you, there's nothing beyond that. That is a miraculous experience.